As we approach the end of the book of Genesis, from creation to divine promises, let's journey through the incredible story that has shaped our faith. With just His words, everything came to be. Light pierced the darkness, and the universe was born. Creation, Genesis 1-2. In 6 days, God formed the heavens, the earth, and all living creatures, placing humanity at the heart of His masterpiece. On the seventh day, He rested, not from exhaustion, but to establish a sacred rhythm for His creation. But humanity strayed from His path. The fall and the early generations, Genesis 3:5. Paradise was lost when Adam and Eve disobeyed, introducing sin into the world. Their son Cain, driven by jealousy, took his brother Abel's life, the first tragic consequence of sin. Yet, God extended His mercy and gave us another chance. The flood and a new beginning, Genesis 6:9. As wickedness spread, God chose to begin again. He called Noah, a righteous man, to build an ark, preserving life through the flood. When the waters receded, a rainbow stretched across the sky, a sign of God's covenant never to destroy the earth by flood again. But pride once again led humanity astray. The Tower of Babel, Genesis 11. Seeking power, mankind built a tower to the heavens at Babel, defying God. With a single act, He confused their languages and scattered them across the earth, forming the nations of the world. Then God made a promise that would change everything. God's promise to Abraham, Genesis 12:22. From these scattered nations, God chose one man, Abraham. He called him from his homeland and promised that his descendants would be as countless as the stars. Abraham's faith was tested when God asked him to sacrifice his beloved son, Isaac. But at the final moment, God provided a ram, proving His faithfulness. Through Abraham's lineage, a nation began to take shape. Jacob and Esau, Genesis 25:33. Abraham's grandson, Jacob, wrestled for a blessing that wasn't his, deceived his way into an inheritance, and later wrestled with God Himself. Through struggle and redemption, he became Israel, the father of 12 sons, who would form the tribes of God's chosen people. And among them, one son would change the course of history. The story of Joseph, Genesis 37:50. The continuing promise. Joseph, sold into slavery by his jealous brothers, faced betrayal and hardship. Yet through God's hand, he rose to power as Egypt's governor, saving not only his family but an entire nation from famine. What man intended for evil, God turned into good. Genesis is more than a story. It's the foundation of our faith. It reminds us that even in darkness, God is working His plan. Which part of Genesis speaks to you the most? Share your thoughts. Bello. The continuing promise. Genesis does not end with an ending. It ends with a beginning. The Israelites, now in Egypt, are growing into a nation, but the promises of land, kingship, and redemption are yet to be fulfilled. What comes next will change history forever. Join us as we continue the journey in Exodus. Subscribe and follow Bible for You 365. Help grow our community of believers by sharing this video. Thank you for watching.